Alright, so now let's go ahead and implement this repository here, and for that we are going to need this repository itself, right? So let's go ahead and create this directory over here. And if you see here, like what I'm going to have is like there should be one folder which is going to be, let's say we have this entities, so we can have something like repositories itself, right? So we can simply call this repositories, and these are the certain basic conventions which we used to follow, right? So the more classification you will put, it will be more robust in terms of its namespace itself. Namespace, what I'm trying to mean is like any developer who is coming to see your application, he can directly understand the gist, like how this is structured. So now let's go ahead and create this another folder which is going to be base, and what I'm going to have here is like in this iRepository itself, which is going to be my interface, and that is going to be a generic one, and let's call this iRepository, and iRepository is fine, and let's call this here okay, looks like this is let's mark this as an interface, and this can take any entity which is coming here, and of course t needs to come from this entity itself which we have created. Let's mark this as an entity, and in here let's put certain operations here. So let's say I read only list of what I'm going to have is like of t, and in that let's say get all async itself, right? And this looks correct, and now let's go ahead and create another method, and which is going to be, let's say, task of t, and get by id async. So everything is async by nature itself, and let's have this like this. And now let's again create task, and again it's going to take t, and this time it's going to have add async. That's it, and it's going to take this entity, and let's have something like that. Now let's have this something like this time we are going to update that, so we don't need that from that signature itself as in t, so we are just going to say update async, and let's have this as caps, and looks like this spelling is wrong, update async, and that's going to take again your entity. Now once that is done, let's have another task which is going to delete that. So delete async, and that time we are going to have this of type entity itself. So that is done. Now the next thing which we are going to have is one custom repository which is mostly on the movie side itself, right? So we have this 5 methods here, which is the quite generic one, and in the next section what we are going to do is we are going to create one custom one which is going to focused on the movie repository itself. So let's go ahead and create that in the next clip itself.